thin set, and some of you haven't. Looking back at that video, you can remember some of the points on that. The first thing we want to do is take off any bond breakers. A lot of these cement boards have like little stickers or stripes on them. They're definite bond breakers in that. They're like high shine pieces of plastic. So we'd want to take off anything like that. If we were on the job, we'd also want to check, my hand's already dirty, but yeah, see, there we go. So that's also a bond breaker, all that film and dust that's on there. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this off, and while I'm cleaning it off, I'm going to apply that SSD, which is that saturated surface dry. I'm going to give it a drink so that it doesn't drink from our thin set. If it pulls moisture from our thin set, we're not going to have as long of life. The time that we can move our tile on there was going to be drastically reduced, and it can actually weaken the thin set by pulling that moisture from it. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in the same direction while I'm applying this. I'm not doing that. I'm actually putting the SSD, the water down, but I'm just smearing it all over the place. I'm not actually picking up any of that dirt and dust and debris. So I'm going to go in that same direction, all the way to the end here. So, yeah, I got some. Now, is that going to be what makes the panel fall off the wall? Maybe not, but we're going to do best practices. We want to be as good as we can so that any little error isn't going to cause the problem. Now, if we were on the job, this can just go ahead and dry naturally. I don't need to towel it, but it's just for expedience sake, I'm going to go ahead and towel it off. Now the surface is saturated, but the surface is also dry. So if I put my dry hand on there, pull it off, I still have a dry hand. If I were to put my hand on there and I have a wet hand, that's also a bond breaker. We don't want to do that also. First thing when applying thin set is that we want to key in our substrate. So we're going to take the back side of the trowel, and I'm not going to just coat the thin set. I actually want to hear it getting pushed into all the little pores and grooves into our substrate. So I'm going to actually make sure that I make that sound. Now if you're new to thin set, you can either start from the outside and work your way in, and if you've been doing this a little bit, maybe you can go from the inside out without getting it on your feet. We want to go all the way to the perimeter, all the corners completely covered. Can I get 2 volunteers to come up here and go ahead and burn this tile out, this panel in, key it in. Not everybody at once. All right, come on in. One more. Here we go, Henry.
We got the experts in here.
There we go. Just know you're not getting out anything. These guys are going to be doing this part, but you guys maybe will be doing the next part. So. You hear that sound? I like that. He's actually making a mechanical bond, getting all the thin set into the pores of our substrate.